STPL, his debut match, you could say. Can he pull out the first win that he needs for his team to take his team 2-0? Or is Zoz going to be able to pull it back and make it 1-1? And the map of the game is going to be on Pathfinder. It's a pretty cool map, I showed this off before, but the 3 bases in the middle are kind of islands as such. You have ground all the way around them. Makes it very cool in the Terra matchups and the Protoss matchups and the Zerg matchups as well. And it'll be really fun to see exactly how these players play out this map on PvZ. Let's actually not waste any time. Let's head on over to the game screen and let's get going. And yeah, oh, ReV changed the player on Sunday. Okay. Yeah, and I did hijack the name. But as you can see, spawning us in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the yellow Zerg. It's going to be KameZerg. And spawning in the 7 o'clock position, we do have his opponent. It's going to be SkRiK from ReV. Okay, so it's not actually Zoz. It's gonna be SkRiK, but the reason behind the name, just in case you didn't follow my tournaments back in 2015, I know many people didn't. It was mainly when I got to Cast with Sail that people sort of started paying more attention to the stuff I was hosting, which I'm incredibly grateful for. Hopefully I've been doing a good job, and I hope you all enjoy the tournaments and whatnot. But basically, the first time I ever run the STPL, it was in 2015, and the format was slightly different. They were best of 5 still. But to play in them, what you would do is you would take on the idea of a pro gamer from the Shinhan Bank Pro League 2010, and you would play as them as like a Smurf. Now, while it was a cool idea and I really enjoyed it, basically the only issue that we come across was it made it impossible for the players to organize anything. So people didn't want to use the Reddit that I set up for it. Discord wasn't really a big thing. I couldn't really use a Mumble server for it. And you know what? It just became too much of a pain. So when I decided to bring it back earlier this year, I was hosting the Clash Royale tournaments, of course, and I was like, you know what, I really want to do a team league again. So that's what I chose to do, and here we are. I decided to go with the same name, just because I like the name Shinhan Tank Pro League. It's got a lot of meaning for me. It was the first tournament I ever ran, but also it's a cool play on words. Like, it's kind of a pun, I guess. And yeah, it should be pretty fun. We've got the 9 pool coming up for KameZerg. Now, interestingly, KameZerg I don't think can find the 3rd base. I don't think he's actually looked at the map before. But SkRiK doing a pretty good job back at home. He's actually going to be going for 2-gate. 2-gate Zealot on this map is incredibly strong, especially against the Zerg who may have gone 3 hatch before pool. It looks like KameZerg's actually faking him out. He's not going to take that expansion. I'm not really sure why. It looks like he's actually going to go build a lot of lings and just take his natural. Not going to go for that 3rd pool, third hatch, and that probably is actually going to help him quite a lot, as it will mean that he'll have less of an area to defend. But here we go. Looks like the drone's finally going to go back to mining. We have the hatchery finally on the way. With gas on the way as well, he's at least going to be able to move up to Zealot speed. And the important thing is, the Overlord and the drone actually saw the gateways, it's seen the forge. And strangely, SkRiK is actually going to opt to be defensive with this. He did see some lings leave the base, so he does know there is a lot of lings going to be heading towards his base at some point. Actually, it looks like we actually have even more lings coming up from iRk. I think KameZerg wants to end this game pretty quickly, but he is going to have a lot of trouble breaking up this ramp. As you can see, it's a fairly wide ramp. You actually need 3 Zealots to fully block this, and it looks like he has got that block down pretty well. We have the Zerglings, one of them. I seem to click the ling that did get the probe a little bit earlier, so Hero Zergling there going to be one of the people to actually run in first. And if you wanted in my uptime, I can't actually tell you, but I think I've been up since about 8 PM, so not too bad. That was probably to help clear his name and get out of prison. I do not live in prison, Avalov. Man, stop trolling me. But here we go. Looks like we do have the lings just camping outside the base. We actually have a little bit of a reaction from SkRiK. He doesn't really want to die to a counterattack, so he is building the cannon in his main. Now the 4 Zealots should be enough to take down these Lings, but he does need to be very careful. He can't afford to lose to a Ling counterattack, and we should, in fact, be having a Nexus coming up here soon as well. Now, what is KameZerg's plan going to be from here? Is he going to go into Lair? It looks like he's going to add a Hydralisk then on, off the back of 3 hatches, but it's not a 3rd base hatchery. This is an well, I say in base, it's an in-natural hatchery, so not going to have the economy that Zergs you usually have. We're not going to see a 973 build from him because he doesn't have a 3rd base to actually do that. So this could be a very, very all-in play. Really, really nice Zergling micro start stepping up, getting as many attacks as they can do on the Zealots, but look how powerful Zealots are. Just doing what they can, taking as many of the Lings down as possible, but that's a really, really nice surround. The Zealot did not know to attack anything, and this could be a very, very dangerous counterattack. Ling speed looks like it has just finished, with a Nexus on the way. No cannons, and only 2 Zealots defending. KameZerg could actually break in here and win the game. Probes have been pulled. He knows this is do or die. If he loses these Zealots, if he loses his front, he will be losing this game. And the Ling's just doing such a fantastic job. 2 more Zealots on the way. He should pull back to his ramp to defend, but it looks like he just about managed to hold. Really, really nice probe management. SkRiK doing a sick job there to actually hold that. Looks like we do actually have a misrally drone there. We actually have SkRiK doing what he can to just scout around for any additional 3rd bases, but no 3rd base yet. Rehabilitation facility. I'm just going to ignore that. Okay, so we should have the 2nd gas coming up very shortly. We have Hydralisk speed on the way as well. More Lings are moving down, but I think this is maybe a little bit too much. KameZerg should look at taking a 3rd base. It's going to be very hard to break this at this point. He's on top of the cannon but not attacking. What a mistake. A little bit of a misclick. Must have been on move command there. And he is trying to build up some more Zerglings, but is it going to be enough? We have the 2nd gas on the way, Lair on the way as well. What do we have going on in the Protoss base? We have a 5th pylon, 6th pylon even, cannon going up in the main the natural base mineral line as well, and another cannon at the front. So if he was planning on going for some kind of Hydralisk burst, it is not going to work at this point. KameZerg is in a pretty poor situation at the moment. He can't really afford too much. His economy is in shatters, where he doesn't have that all-important 3rd base in CVP. Being even on bases with the Protoss player, very, very difficult. And SkRiK is just going to have to ride this all the way back to the bank if he wants to win this game. He can choose to be aggressive though. This is one of the things that Protoss does have going for them. They have a lot of cannons at this point back at home. A Ling counterattack won't do anything, but really, really nice Ling control. Trying to do as much damage to the Zealots as possible before they head back. Looks like the Lings trying to pull some of the Zeds away. And look at that surround! Really, really nicely done by KameZerg there, bugging out the AI of the Zealot, forcing it to chase them, and then getting the immediate surround there. Really, really nicely played. And it looks like KameZerg's going to try and break past the front, but there's 3 cannons with a Zealot. That should be enough to hold. And here we go, the Zealots are moving in the front. They're going to meet the Hydralisk though, and despite the fact KameZerg is only on 2 bases, he's nearly even supply with the Protoss. Oh, and this is going to be a trap. Really, really nice surround coming in with the Lings. The Zealots getting completely trapped out in the middle of the map. Zealots finally turning to fight, but they're going to die so quickly. And really, really nice moves once again by KameZerg, who despite only being on 2 base has such a powerful army. He has Hydralisk speed done. Range should be finished as well, it may be just on the way. But this is a lot of cannons. It's going to be very hard to break this. There going to be enough. There's a lot of Lings. They're getting on top of the cannons. Hydralisk on top of the cannons as well. Probes have been pulled. Is it going to be enough to hold? It looks like it might be. It's so close though, and with more Hydralisk coming in from the top side, this could be a lot of damage being dealt to our Protoss player, warping in more and more cannons on top of the Hydralisks. Oh, no cannons actually remain. This is such a clutch situation here for SkRiK to be able to hold on to. And this is very, very dangerous. The Hydralisk coming back in. The cannons are all finished. And cancelling 2 of them. I'm not sure why he did that, but he's going to rebuild them immediately. And with so many Hydralisks on the way, they have been scouted. He knows that this is an all-in situation from the Zerg player. There's no 3rd base out on the map. He's going to go in with his Hydralisk once again trying to break the cannons. There's only one cannon remaining. Really, really nice Hydralisk control here. Even saving his Hydralisks, pulling back the damaged ones. But he needs to make sure he shoots the cannons. Shooting the Zealot's doing so much damage. The cannon's gonna be taking out some of the Hydralisks now as well. And it looks like he's just about holding every time. It's so close though. Probes are still pulled. The supply lead still does go to the Protoss player, but this is such a dangerous position still. But with Dragoons, is this going to be enough to hold on? Dragoons not the best units against these Hydralisks, and only one cannon remains, one of them actually being cancelled. And SkRiK is barely holding. Two of the Dragoons going down immediately, though I think this finally may be enough. More Hydralisks are on the way. We don't have any additional defense coming in from SkRiK. And here we go. It looks like the Hydra's getting on top of the cannons once again. Is this just too many? There's no probes pulled. There's one here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. But still, he's barely holding on. It's so close. I have no idea how this is going to go. It looks like he's finally going to break through the front. There's 3 Dragoons left, but look how little damage they do to Hydralisks. And they die so quickly. That Dragoon surviving with 1 or 2 hits remaining. Another cannon going up, but he's just unable to build them. Another Dragoon goes down, and I think this is it. I think this is finally the tipping point. SkRiK has done so well to hold on for so long, barely losing any probes, but he is not going to be able to hold on any longer. We have 3 more Dragoons coming down. I don't understand this Dragoon choice. If only he'd been teching up to Templar or something like that, he may be able to hold still, but this is just too many Hydralisks. The probes have been pulled, they're doing what they can, but it's not going to be enough. Somehow, they're actually taking out a lot of these Hydralisks. Really powerful probes there. 2 Zealots are out as well, but with more and more Hydralisks on the way, no third base still. KameZerg is still going to look to try and break through. There's so many probes been pulled, they're all going to go down. Really nice target firing. And I think SkRiK is just trying to hold on to the very last, but unfortunately for him, it's not going to work. Dragoons trying to come down to help again. But they're going to have to retreat to the high ground. They are not going to be able to take down this many Hydralisks. And the natural base has been completely ravaged. 11 supply for our Protoss player. It's not going to be enough. More and more Hydralisks coming down for KameZerg, and this is going to be a very quick 2-0 lead for iRk in this series. The natural Nexus is going to go down as well. All the probes are actually pulled out the main. And GG.